Let's continue with the journey of the matriarch, the tail that wags the dog, through the last 4 houses. Pluto in the 9th house. Well, the 9th house deals with truth and our principles and the beliefs by which we run our lives. It deals with the higher mind. It deals with higher education. It deals with the far horizon, the bigger picture. Pluto, the matriarch, in the 9th house, says, your philosophy should be one of control. And don't worry, it is. With Pluto in the 9th house, you believe that God is a controlling God, perhaps, or that control, a la Machiavelli, the prince, works. And so that's part of your philosophy, part of your credo. The problem is that anytime you are controlled by anything or anyone, you're not expressing your true self. You can't. It's not possible. And we don't realize that the matriarch is speaking to us through our higher mind. It's almost like go big or go home, because with Pluto, it's all or nothing. So the good news is that with Pluto in your 9th house, your philosophy of life, your credo, your belief system, the principles by which you live your life can undergo a total transformation. Yeah, you can let go of control in every house. But we're so terrified of not being in control, we're not listening to God, because God speaks through the planets. Okay? So, if you let go of control, your mind says, oh my goodness, what'll happen to me? They'll kill me. I have to be in control. I have to be alert all the time to make sure that nobody gets me. Well, I remember Harry Truman, President Truman, had this sign on his desk, the buck stops here. He took charge of his life. He said, I'm in charge. I'm taking responsibility for what goes on in my life. And he was president. When you take charge, you totally cut the cord to the control that the matriarch has over you, that you may not even be aware of, because it's second nature to you. She's taught you to be in control. And that means you're terrified of being annihilated. When you let go of control, you're no longer playing that game. The rules change. And guess who gets to make them? You do. Because Pluto in your 9th house is total transformation of your belief system and speaks to you through your higher mind, which is the mind of God. Sounds like a plan. Pluto in the 10th house, incredibly powerful. Incredible. The 10th house rules your career, your public image. It's traditionally ruled by Capricorn. And she says, be a controlling leader. Make sure nobody has control over you. I can tell you through all the years that I've done charts that this is very debilitating for your career, because you're always afraid that somebody is going to surpass you and you'll lose your status. You'll fall from grace. You won't be number 1. You might be number 2 or 3 or 4. There's always the fear of losing control over your status. Well, that is the lock to on the kingdom door. If you will release the need to be in control, remember this came to you through a matriarch, a grandmother, who, whether she's living or not, controlled the family. And then you're free to transform your public image, to transform your career, and be the kind of leader who helps other people transform their careers. Because remember, in the 10th house, the whole world sees you. So you might as well, as long as you're going to be living here, live life to the fullest. When you come from control, you don't own your life, she does. And other people do. And in the 10th house, there is always an authority figure, a controlling authority figure, who's going to set the rules for your life. Well, aren't you tired of doing that? Just take charge. Let it all fall away, and you'll rise up like the phoenix, born again. Pluto in the 11th house, she's telling you what the rules are when it comes to your friends, your hopes, your wishes. If you're in a group, you got to be in control. But the problem is somebody is always in control. Somebody else is in control. And so you got to deal with them. Now, in the 10th house, it may be a parent through whom, well, it is a parent through whom the matriarch functions. In the 11th house, the matriarch says, I'm disguised as one of your friends. The 11th house is friends. And so what you want to do is be in control of the groups that you belong to, because you don't want to be controlled by the group. And as long as you come from control, you are controlled by the group. You transform that, and you transform the group just by blinking and breathing. It's that simple. Now, the last house of the zodiac is the 12th house, and this is the spirit plane. And with Pluto in the 12th, you're disguised Pisces, and the spirit world functions on a different level than the conscious mind. The 12th house is the subconscious, and this it makes it even more difficult to get your hand, wrap your hand around Pluto, because if it's functioning on a subconscious level, you don't know it. Well, nobody else does either, but it shows itself in the other houses, except the 8th maybe, because that's another secret house. But it's hiding itself from you. So, notice how there is, on some level, a fear of being controlled. And the fear is, well, if I'm not in control, what will I do? Oh, my dear friend, you will be transformed, and you will soar, and you'll be able to transform on a spiritual level and be possibly the greatest spiritual teacher that we've known in a long time. My blessing for you, may the stars shine brightly on you and yours.